First and foremost, I want to introduce you to the lovely Laura. She's serving our drinks here today. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Come this way. So here we are, dopeYEAH Talk, a wonderful new set at Metronome Festival. We're very proud of it. Not too shabby, I think. I think you could agree. So we got some of the biggest artists in the world going to be coming here and being interviewed. So yeah, I'm going to get ready and I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Well, cheers, guys. Thank you for coming and doing a little show.
Yeah.
And looking forward to the show tonight. And you know, the last one I saw you at was the Carlin Foreman, which was amazing.
Thank you so much.
And so hopefully everyone that went to that show is going to come tonight.
Let's hope so.
And I hope it doesn't rain.
It doesn't look like it.
Really? You're going to miss the rain?
Good.
What you think?
It's not that sweet. Like most rums are more sweet, I feel like. It's kind of smoky. It almost tastes like gets like into the whiskey direction, I feel like.
So this is, dopyeAH, the club that you came to. This is their own rum.
Nice.
So they've got their own range of rum now. So
that's amazing.
We'll get you some bottles on the way out. So
right on.
It's nice.
We'll swag you up on the way out.
That's good. Yeah, swag me up all the way.
Well, should we retire to the more comfortable seats for a minute and we'll have a bit of a chat? See what's been going on?
Yes. Is there
Yeah, you sit in that one there and I'll sit in this one.
Okay.
I have my little spot here. So I didn't meet you the last time because you didn't come to the club, did you?
Yeah, no, I wasn't there. We were just talking about it. I don't know why though. There was
sick,
something. Probably. Either I was
most likely sick or not there yet.
I don't know.
You have to come.
Maybe travel.
Obviously this one is a tight one, but next time it's amazing.
It's a really cool place.
I mean, it's like the best sort of radio museum in the world. And I know it can sound a little stuffy, but it's anything but that. Everybody that goes in there just goes, what the fuck? Honestly, you explain to people, say, like, no, you got to come and see it. There's no way you can explain this place.
Yeah.
It's just kooky, but all in the right way. You know what I mean? It's just slightly eccentric, but brilliantly done. And the guy that owns it, Peter Kamela, he's just this sort of brilliant guy, but slightly eccentric, but all in the good way,
Yeah, I mean,
pours all his money into music.
You probably need someone to create a space like that.
Yeah, well, hopefully, you guys will come and do something there at some point, like a private event or something, because it's an amazing sort of secret venue in Prague that very few people know about, and it's just this kind of exclusive group of people that come there all the time and see. We get some really big acts there as well to do shows. So
nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice to maybe get you guys at one point, to come and stretch your funky stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's been going on? What's the summer been looking for you guys?
Lots of touring. We've been to far places on the first half of this year. We've been in Australia, we've been in Africa, in Mexico, South America.
Wow.
So we toured the far places, which was amazing. We released a couple new songs. Just recently, our latest single.
I was listening to it this morning. Sounds great.
Nice, thank you. And been to the studio in the between times and just recorded some stuff. And working also on we played a show with an orchestra last year in November in Vienna.
Fantastic.
And we recorded that, so we're kind of like trying to bring that to the finish line and release that as a LP.
Why don't you do one of those shows here? We've got some of the best string players in the world here in Prague.
That's true. That's very true.
I can hook you up.
Okay.
I'm serious.
All right.
All joking aside.
There you go.
Swag me up, hook me up.
I'll hook you up with the
We're going home with like an orchestra and some rum.
Look, dude, we're the guys here. We know it's like the little Prague Mafia here, We know everybody.
Right on.
And we'll make them an offer they can't refuse. Sorry, in all seriousness, if you wanted to do it in Prague, because I was talking to Kasheen about this, because she's got she did Shan had this show in London recently with a full orchestra. It was fantastic, man. It was so amazing.
So much fun.
And then she said, I'd love to do it in Prague. I said, just say the word, because we know all these guys. We know all the top string players.
All right.
And they're like world class, and they're reasonably priced. It's not like London prices.
Right,
you got to Abbey Road with the London Symphony Orchestra. It's 120 grand. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you can't even go there. It's only the major movies. But the guys here are reasonably priced, and they're not so. They'll do the overdubs and not charge you double. You know what I mean? Like in London.
Right.
So they're just. They'll play the game and sort of give you what you want. So if you ever wanted to do it here, seriously, we could.
I mean, we definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, and that also is cool, like in a smaller size, like a little stripped down like not with a full orchestra, but like an exclusive little show, you know, that could be cool. It's just a couple of strings or something.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's also really nice.
Well, as I said, say the word in Prague, you know, we're you guys, we know everybody, make it really simple, really easily. So let's make that happen. That'll be a lot of fun, you know.
All right.
So on the festival scene, you've the other places you've been in the summer, like differences between, first of all, are you guys festival people? Do you enjoy festivals?
For sure. Actually, we're going next week, like private.
Yeah,
really?
To a festival.
Just as a punter?
Just as a punter.
I mean, funny was we
actually also play on that festival, which is surprising to us because we wanted to go and then they said, do you want to play?
You're here.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, yeah, sure. So that's amazing. But yeah, no, we love festivals for sure. And just speaking about crowds, I mean, the experience in South America definitely is always kind of outstanding just in terms of, you know, the crowds there are so
passionate.
Hot and passionate. And like, I think it's a very unique thing to play shows there.
What particular cities did you play?
Kind of all over. We started in Bogota in Colombia and then just went to Santiago, Chile, but also to Lima. We were in Buenos Aires. In Brazil, we actually played 3 shows.
Rio, Sao Paulo.
Rio. We've never been in Rio. That was our first time.
Wow.
Uruguay. Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you get to walk around in Rio?
A little bit, yeah, for sure. It's a wild place, dude.
Yeah, it's still the Wild West out there. Well,
a little bit.
You know, and the same with Colombia. How's Colombia?
Colombia was also really nice. We also got to walk there. But I feel like in Brazil it was just so nice for us to like go out and like really, you know, the samba and like just all the like music on the streets. It's very impressive and it's such a strong culture there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was amazing to go out there and like experience just everywhere people sing and dance, and it's really intense, but very outstanding for sure.
I went to Havana a few years ago and it was like that. Music everywhere. And it was just amazing. Like really good players.
And the level is, that's the point.
You've got all these conservatories out there and these kids can really play, you know. And they're just doing it for the joy, you know.
Totally. Everybody, you know, it's like, it's not even everybody's a musician.
Yeah.
But everybody actually is. Like everybody plays it for fun. Also when you go, like our drummer went to a percussion shop to like get something special from South America to take home. And everybody in that store, even people just visiting, like were like, you know, playing super crazy and like so advanced. So that's very impressive that they grow up with that.
So you think that kind of experience will seep more into your music moving forward?
I feel like it always has been, kind of.
Track, but next year.
We'll see.
I feel like unconsciously, it'll happen automatically.
Yeah.
Probably, you know.
There's so much joy in that music as well, isn't there?
Totally.
It's like it's very joyful music generally, you know.
It's also very sad, actually. If you look at I looked at they're all in Portuguese. At the lyrics, translate them. They're all like, you know, that saudade is the.
I mean, it's kind of the blues,
like right? World pain. You can translate it into that, and it's all very. It's a lot of heartbreak. So it's like it's very melancholic in a way, also. But yeah, it's at the same time a lot of joy.
Yeah, I think lyrically it can kind of go that way, but generally the music, when you hear it, it's like
totally.
When I was in Cuba, I just loved just walking around. It just made you feel good, you know, that people are just listening to it. There's again a bit like Prague in some ways for me. There's no cynicism about music. I love going to a place where there's no cynicism. Like in London, people are quite cynical. You know, maybe it's just the circles I run in, but you know, because I'm in the music industry. But generally, when you go somewhere where it's part of the culture, everyday culture. And I kind of grew up with that in Ireland like that.
Right.
Everybody was into music.
Totally.
You know, you go to a pub, you know, the end of the night people are singing. Whether they can sing or not, it's here nor there. They sing anyway. Totally. Everybody's singing at the end just because of the joy of singing. And it's not forced, it's not to show off, it's just they have to express themselves. And I think it's the same with South Americans.
Totally.
They have
and I think it's the unity thing, you know? It's like just doing it together. No matter if you're good at it or something, you know, that's not the point. It's really just the point of like doing it together and not being alone. I think. Yeah.
So would you think that sort of Germans could learn a lot from South Americans about?
Oh, we can learn tons.
Expressing yourself on the street.
Yep.
Maybe there's more of that coming into the culture now. Is there people just playing, you know?
I mean, I guess we're in a good place in Berlin. That's kind of outstanding in terms of that. but Germany as a whole for sure can develop a bit in that direction.
I mean, I love Berlin. I've been there many times, and it's like, again, it's one of the great cultural centers. And did you build your studio in the end? Is it finished?
Yeah, I mean, it's not finished, but it's definitely like in use, and we brought it to, you know, a place where we can just be there and feel comfortable and work, and also have other people there. And it's an amazing space. We're very happy how it turned out.
And I don't know, I've said this to several people recently. Have you been looking into the new AI that's been going on?
I mean, we came across it for sure. But yeah, I mean, we're just not...
The AI?
We're just not the type of, you know, people who are intrinsically drawn to it.
Right.
So, of course, I mean, we're not, you know, we don't shut our eyes to it, but we're not embracing it. But it's interesting. I mean, what I like about it, or where I can see some sort of... It's interesting is in terms of sampling. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, already there's like those AI programs that can divide the instrumental from the vocals.
Yeah. Logic can even do it now.
Right, which is it's actually pretty good. It's surprisingly well made. So that's, to me, is like an interesting kind of thing. But this whole, that like songs are written and like all that, I don't know. It's just like there's a thin line of like what feels good and what doesn't. I guess from a perspective, from an artist, rather than maybe, you know, another perspective.
Yeah, I think for artists, it's not such a thing. I mean, I've said to, you know, artist friends, even producer friends, I mean, I've really looked into it. It's kind of a bit of an obsession of mine, because I listened to some of it and it was terrifyingly good. Mm-hmm. It was like, I thought this was going to be rubbish. And I just put in, it's one called dopeYEAH, I don't know if you've heard of it. And you just put in prompts, like, I'd like it to be a little bit like Billie Eilish meets Van Halen meets the London Symphony. I think this is going to be rubbish. And it pops out this amazing tune in 10 seconds. And I'm, oh my God. You know, I woke up my wife in like middle of the night and said, you got to listen to this. She's like, what is it? Just listen to this. And she was like, oh dear. It's like, you still know all that electrical thing you did back when you were 16, you know? You might be going back to it. But no, I agree. I think I've said to artist friends of mine and producers, like, where it matters now is, and that sounds kind of, is the branding side of you. Like, you guys are a band, you're Milky Chance, you know, you've built that, and it has a resonance of its own. It's a whole little thing of its own, I think. But if you're a kind of backroom boy or someone very anonymous in the background, you do a lot of TV work or even kind of slightly smaller film stuff, I think that's going to be tough moving forward, because this stuff is really good. I thought it wasn't going to be really good, but hand on my heart, I didn't want it to be. It sounds amazing. And the licensing thing is a whole other thing that's coming up. It's just they're using pre-recorded music to machine learn, to influence it, not to actually use it. So that's the thing they're saying, if they use it, it means they're breaking the license. I'm not so sure about that, because what's the difference in you and I being influenced by tracks and making a track, and AI being influenced and making a track?
Well, it's the human love you put in there. I don't know. I guess it's a bit of a, you can push it into a spiritual kind of place, where I just believe, you know, it's the whole thing with digital and like also with the social media, with all that, where it just feels like all that are great tools. I get that idea and I want to be more open to it, because I often feel how I judge quick. But it just feels like there is this thing right now in the whole industry where it's all about repetition, like something works well, and that's tried to be reproduced, and that's kind of like a business mindset that kind of like found its stage in the music, and I sometimes wonder if that's cool. Or like, then I also like, I ask myself, like, how would people, like artists that we look up to, like Jimi Hendrix or Ray Charles, how would they have used Instagram or TikTok? Like, would have just been, if they were in a different time, they would have done it as well? Or would they still be what we feel so inspired and drawn to? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Is it just a phase? Maybe it's a phase. I honestly believe it is a phase. Like, I feel it will not survive. Because there's just so much in, like, art always has to be evolving and recreate, and it's this reproduction thing, like, we wanna, that worked well and that had a lot of clicks, so let's take that as well and make it exactly the same. So that's why I'm saying I feel like that's like a mindset that doesn't really work in art.
But you guys never really, you just, you know, sort of cut your own trough, you know what I mean? You don't really do what you're supposed to do. You do whatever you want to do. I mean, if you look at the TikTok thing, which is like no intros now, straight to the chorus and then straight to short verse, chorus, you know. Yeah. It's kind of getting very boring for me, very bland.
Yeah.
And like, who's making up these rules? Who's deciding that this is the way everything should be now? You know, that everything should be, let's get to the chorus as soon as possible and literally have no verse, have no middle eight, no outro. You know, it's just
the marketing,
strange, isn't it? You know?
But it's also, I guess, it's a little bit of an unconscious thing, you know, because that's also what you listen to a lot, and then you could potentially create that feeling of like, oh, that chorus needs to come earlier. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that conscious, like, it needs to come early. It's just like,
not like free from.
We're not free from it for sure. I mean, we're in it, and
we also consume it in a way.
It's
then you just like, it's the same like with like, you know. Everyone like, I mean, a lot like using, you know, pitch and like, you know,
autotune,
melodyne and autotune, and then like if all the music that you listen to is like perfect pitch, your ears want to hear that.
Yeah,
you know? It's like it's really like you get used to it, and then you're like in the studio and you sing and it sounds good, and then you're like, oh, give me a little bit like, you know, like, just like, you know, and then it's like, and then it becomes very conscious if you want to do it or not. It's like really a decision also.
Right.
If you just want to leave it as it is, because that's what you want to do, that's what you want to go for.
And by the end, it really comes down just to like, play instruments and record stuff, right? I mean, that's the whole thing about like if a track would be done by like just like throwing in ideas and then the track is done, like the whole process is gone.
Yeah.
Of like having ideas and kind of like taking them out, you know, like.
You mean talking about AI?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would also say
like,
in the end, it will also like divide, like there will be maybe like people who have fun using it because they just like the, you know, like the technical, you know, invention and all that kind of stuff. But then like if you're an artist and like, I mean, why do we do music? We do music because it's the most fun thing doing for us. It's the way we communicate with the world, with ourselves, with each other. If we wouldn't have that, you know, then we can just like skip it and do something else, you know?
Yeah. What's the emotional experience?
Yeah, there's nothing. And it's just like...
It's wallpaper music.
It's empty, yeah, it's empty.
It's soulless.
Yeah, it's nothing. So in the end, I think it comes down to the point like, what is music for you, for me, for us? And then you just like...
Yeah.
You go for it.
I mean, I think, you know, sort of... listening to your stuff, I mean, like the happy accidents and everything isn't perfect. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I like that. You know, I listened to Bowie recently, and I could hear little pitchy notes. You know what I mean? And it was like, who cares? You know, it's some of the greatest music ever made. The Beatles. I actually listened to the Beatles when Abbey wrote the 4 tracks. They took them out of the safe and weren't supposed to, but we did. And you can hear some of the harmonies are out of tune, slightly out of tune. But when they're blended in the whole, it sounds amazing.
That's exactly what you're saying. Happy accidents. I think the accident is what you're going to, or going for, in creating, because it's like what you can't see that will happen. If it's all like foreseeable, you can actually do it with a computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
sure. And anything you guys are listening to at the moment that's inspiring you?
For sure. McGee, you know that guy? He recorded a lot with Dijon.
Yes, yeah. Fantastic.
Amazing guitarist and singer. I love his voice. And his record, what's the name of the record?
Oh man, I forgot.
2-Star and the Space Police or something like that.
It's very tasty, very well recorded.
Super rough also, very rough. Not like well mixed, I would say. You know, it's like really vibey. It's like there's no pitch or anything. It's like super. It's really cool.
I think that's kind of what we're saying. Stuff will come back around to that because people, even the way people are craving vinyl at the moment, they just want something tangible. They don't want everything to be streaming, and you know, they need that emotional physicality nearly. You know, so I think, as we said about the AI thing, I think that will come and go. We'll use some of it, and a lot of it will fall by the wayside. People will get bored of it. And then being a musician will become even more special, that you actually worked hard to be a musician. People will treasure it, you know what I mean? Like they treasure a vinyl record, you know, because even though they don't have a record player, they still want it. 50% of people who buy vinyl don't have a record player, which is kind of strange.
Right.
But it's a fact. It's crazy, isn't it?
Kind of strange.
Yeah, but they just want something physical, like something to hold on to.
Yeah.
And I
Keep
think
it safe.
Yeah, but I think even musicians, it's like great musicians will, will become even more special because people are lazy, and a lot of musicians will get lazy. And then, but the special ones, the ones who kind of work really hard and become good, they'll become even more special, because they've worked so hard to get there.
Yeah.
And so I think things will come around, but it's a debate at the moment. And I do think AI just generally in the world is becoming, it is like the new industrial revolution.
Yeah. I'm more worried about AI in other
areas
fields use, and like.
Yeah. The Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, like
coming to get us.
Because it's always like, when like, they will probably, unfortunately, people using it in not a good way.
Yeah, well, there will be some naughty people out there doing naughty things. That always will be.
Yeah, so that's like more something that I'm frightened of.
Getting back to more joyful things.
Yeah.
Anybody you're looking forward to seeing at the festival today? Have you had a look at the bill?
We are very excited for Mark.
Oh, great.
Rehbein.
We're big fans.
So he's brilliant, yeah.
He's very brilliant, genius.
I haven't seen him live, so I'm very excited.
That's going to be very cool.
Also Meute. Watch Meute.
Yeah, I mean, we have kind of a German day today, Like Zimmer 90. They're also from Germany. Us and Meute.
When are they on?
Meute? Late. Zimmer 90 is before us.
But a different stage?
Right before, that stage.
The smaller one?
Same like Mark, So that's kind of like our highlights.
It's a good lineup. It's nice.
Yeah, have you seen the last dinner party as well? They're playing. They're an English band doing really well on Four Girls, and they've just had a #1 record in the UK, and they'll be interesting to watch. They've literally come out of nowhere.
Nice.
Literally, sort of 1 minute they were nobody, and next huge blow up. And literally the second gig was supporting the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
But they're good. To be fair, they're really good, and they're kind of mixing stuff up. And it's kind of a mixture of everything from PJ Harvey to prog rock. To literally Genesis to Queen to Sparks. It's very organic. Lots of time signature changes, but. It's huge in the UK.
When are they on?
They're on about 7, I think.
Right before us. Good.
Yeah, that might be worth watching, I think. Another friend of mine who's old school 90s artist called Roachford, he's playing later on, and he's fantastic. Amazing soul singer. He'll be a great act as well to watch. But yeah, I definitely... And you guys are on at what time?
8.
Is it 8?
8, yeah.
What's the lineup?
The lineup?
Yeah, the lineup of the band.
It's the 4-piece.
The same as always?
Same as always. But we have some new music. Here and there, different arrangement.
So you're still going to play
different
the hits,
shirts.
Different shirts.
We're going to change before we go on stage.
Yeah, as I said, that gig though in the Carlin Forum, the last time I saw it, was fantastic. And the crowd was it was such a mixture at your gig, of people from everywhere. They came from all over, which was amazing. Like the people came from Russia, you know what I mean? There was really crazy mixed, and kind of from about 16 to sort of 35 around, you know what I mean? It was like...
Yeah.
So,
that's really cool.
I mean, that's kind of, it's cool. It's also something that we...
Right, and I think it resembles a bit like how we also stand to music,
Right.
Like we like to take from everywhere. Like we're not like this niche kind of, and I think that's kind of, shows in the people or in the fans and the crowds. And
on the new record, are you producing it yourselves? Did you do everything? Because you've worked with different big producers over the years. So on this one, is it you guys mainly doing the production?
Yeah, I mean, it was always us, and then, but with that album, we kind of didn't go with one producer. So each song kind of stands for itself because we really wanted it to be more colorful, diverse, and broad. So we worked with sometimes a producer, sometimes just a writer. We had some features with other artists. Sometimes we worked with our band. So that was kind of cool to have the process being very different for each song and not have one producer and which is also cool.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of experience. I think we
did
enjoyed
that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to
Because you had Izzy Bazoo on one of your tracks,
that was the
on the
first.
second.
I know her management very well. In fact, the Roachford's management is same management as manage Izzy Bazoo. So Craig Logan, great management company. And we were trying to get her to dopeYEAH. She may come another time, but she couldn't make the first time, and we're going to try and get her another time. But she's great.
Amazing singer for sure.
Any new featured artists on the latest stuff?
I mean, on the last album, we had a couple. We had Charlotte Cardin, who's also a very great female singer. Fatoumata Diawara, who's an amazing singer.
These two.
We had recently released our single "Living in a Haze" with a band from Canada called The Beaches, which kind of reminds me, like, just visual. Like, I was like, is that the English version of The Beaches? It's kind of funny, like the band you talked about.
The Last Dinner Party.
Yeah, the Last Dinner Party. Really cool, like progressive, kind of punkish, girl band. Very cool. That was so far the feature on the last track.
I passed by them the Last Dinner Party. They're so posh. They're the poshest people I've ever met in my life. It was like, I passed by, it was all very darling, and it's like, well, we're going horse riding any minute, It's like, where do you guys come from? And very, very posh, but very, very good, to be fair. And we're hoping to get them on the podcast. We'll see. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. They look like they're very involved in their books, So maybe they'll do it. Maybe they're into kind of very gothic lyrics and kind of Dickensian.
Clemens brought his book.
All right.
Did you?
Maybe you can find some literal.
What are you reading?
Literal friends.
It's in German. What is it in English? I don't know. It's called the Bigger Wonder.
You're right. And what's the story?
What's the story? Oh, it's good. It's one guy, and it jumps like back and forth between like him growing up and then him being on an Mount Everest exhibition. And then
And does that influence your writing when you write? I mean, lyrically and stuff.
No, I don't think so.
You don't sort of nick lines and get really inspired by a little passage. Oh, I'm gonna nick that.
Yeah, no, not yet.
I used to do that.
Yeah,
it might be like subconscious.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think generally, like, for sure, reading helps to be inspired.
Yeah.
That's just in general.
There might just be a great phrase you come across and think, that's a great phrase,
Right.
I'll have that,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that lots of times, or you hear something in a movie and a line in a movie, I'll say, I'll definitely have that.
Yeah,
one,
that's
that
true.
One, Yeah. And, because I think movies are a big part of it. I don't know if you're into movies, but I still love watching movies.
Totally.
Massive influence. Because even in your stuff, I find that as well, that kind of, nearly like Americana, that kind of seeps into it. You know what I mean? And that sort of Ennio Morricone thing, slightly morphs into your sound a little bit, that kind of...
No, it's very moody for sure. I think that's what we're going
landscapey.
For. If it sets up a mood.
Yeah, you can see a landscape. You know what I mean? When you're listening to it, it's broad and there's a lot of space. That's what I like. You're not trying to fill in every hole in the production, which I always say I produce, then I reduce. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get it all down and then take stuff out.
It's all about reducing.
Yeah, so
that's like the trick. I mean, the toughest part, I would say.
Yeah.
But I like that about production generally. Like it's a visual thing, kind of, in terms of like you're trying to fill a room, as you said, and if it's too crowded, it's like gives you like makes you uncomfortable.
It does make you uncomfortable. So, like when you're writing, who does what in the writing? Generally, have you got roles?
No,
you just keep switching
we
it
keep
around?
it pretty open. Also, like just with that last album and before, just in terms of who we work with. But no, we both write. We both like to produce, and we just kind of like whoever comes up with ideas. I mean, we're both able to jump back and forth. Maybe I'm a little bit more on the computer, just in terms of like shortcuts.
Yeah,
but he's learning.
Of course. I don't know.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like little acoustic things, like where just you two sitting with a piano and a vocal?
I mean, that's like often how it starts, or just like how ideas kind of evolve. That we first figure it out on instruments, because I feel like that's where we come from, and that just gives us a feel to like something works well if we can play it very stripped down with things. So yeah, for sure. And also with our band, I mean, we are all instrumentalists, so we like to have things kind of work before we like produce it or like bring it in that kind of in-between world of electronic and analog music.
You see, that was a question I'm trying to ambush you down, saying, would you do us a track? Would you?
Oh, right.
Oh, that's
Okay.
I know, it was sneaky.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, right.
He's like, how do you get out of that one?
Yeah, okay.
That was entrapment.
Sweating already.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
can
we
do
have a
one.
Rhodes, if you could sing us like even a bit of a song, we'd love it, you know? If there
Or
was
a
something that you've done
Oh, the
recently.
guitar maybe?
And you have a
What about
guitar
the
there as well. Have you got a guitar? We got a guitar, something that would,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
just, yeah. And
sure, we
if you
can
don't
do that.
like it, we won't use it. But I know you guys will kill it, and it'd be fantastic for us. We'd love it. But
All right.
please, thank you.
All right, that's
Milky
it.
Chance, thank you guys. And we're going to get a tune.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You make me feel like you like this time. Just because of you, I get so damn high. I didn't even know how to get back down. Only if you put me back to the ground. Make it last like gold on a cold day. Make it last, this is all you have. Deep dive down Gold Coast Highway. This is where you don't feel sad. Karma is a diamond, you don't know how to deal with your trauma when you love it too bad. You make me feel like you like this side. Just because of you, I get so damn high. I didn't even know how to get back down. Only if you put me back to the ground. Like you let me from around. So every fall apart. You fall me, I got my way too far. It's so loud when you're lost in love. On a cold day, make it last, this is all you have. Deep dive down Gold Coast Highway. This is where you don't feel sad. Karma is a diamond, you don't know how to deal with your trauma when you love it too bad. You make me feel like you like this side. Just because of you, I get so damn high. I didn't even know how to get back down. Only if you put me back to the ground. Like you let me from around. So every fall apart. You fall me, I got my way too far. It's so low and you're lost in love.
The wonderful Milky Chance. Thank you, guys. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Of course, man.
Superstars. Thank you.
Thank you.